Good morning, Chennai. Wanna come? Well, so far so good. I didn't trip on the carpet as I came in here. So, what a fantastic way for me to start my day, and I suspect each and every one of you is also going to be inspired in many different ways as we go through the day. So let me start, if I may, with asking you to consider this question. How are things going in your life? How are things going in your life? I mean, in business, in your job, in your career. Are you where you want to be? And what about your relationships? Or maybe your health, fitness, and energy levels? How's it going? Because often when I ask that question, there's some people who say, oh, you know, Carol, we're in a kind of like down economy, or things aren't so great at the moment, or it's just okay. Then on the other end of the scale, I get people who say, it's really good, it's fantastic. I even heard one great coming from over there as well. Now, what's the difference between those two types of people? And more importantly, what's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people? And it seems to me that successful people do things differently inside their head. And if I could show each and every one of you a way to find out whether what you're doing inside your head is helping you get the results that you want or moving you in the wrong direction, would that be useful? Would there be value in that for you? Because let me tell you right now, all of you all are leaders right now. All of you are leaders. Because wherever you are in your life right now has come about by the way that you've chosen to lead yourself inside. So are you leading yourself in a way that you're getting what you want out of life and you're happy? Because what I want to do is share with you a couple of quick techniques that will literally help you discover what you're doing inside, discover your own inner leader, so you can change your mind and keep the change. Now, some of you may be surprised to know that we actually do 6 things inside our head at any given time. So if you're looking at the person next to you and kind of wondering if there's anything going on inside their head, let me tell you there's actually 6 things going on in each of our heads at any given time. We see pictures, we hear sounds, smells, tastes, we have feelings, and here's the important one. We talk to ourselves inside our head. It's true. The question is, what are you saying to yourself? Because whatever you're doing on the inside affects what goes on the outside. Whatever you do inside your head creates your reality on the outside. How does that work? Well, by now you've probably already realized that I've got a nice British accent going here. I'm English, but I actually live in the Middle East. I live in Dubai, just across the water there. And I live in the Middle East because I like the warmer weather. But a couple of years ago, I went back to the UK and it was freezing cold. It was winter. And I was bundled up in coats, jackets, jumpers, gloves, socks, boots, you name it, I was wearing it. I was still cold. And I was shopping in a particularly delightful part of London called Covent Garden, going up and down the lanes, in and out of stores. And on one of the street corners, what caught my eye was a homeless man, a tramp. And although he was wearing a coat, what caught my attention was he had open-toed sandals on and no socks. His feet were bare. And I thought to myself, his feet must be freezing. I'm going to do something about that. So I rushed into the nearest store and I bought the thickest, fluffiest, woolliest socks that I could possibly find, with the intention of giving them to this homeless man. Well, as it turned out, that was the easy part. So I went outside with the thick, fluffy, woolly socks, and that's when the voice inside my head started. Carol, are you nuts? Are you crazy? There was this picture in my mind of him being rude, abusive, and attacking me. And I couldn't give him the socks. I just couldn't do it. Now, has that ever happened to you when you're really going for something and then that little voice inside your head stops you acting? Or you have an image of everything going wrong? Maybe you've had an experience where you're about to go into an important meeting, and just as you're about to go into that important meeting, there's that little voice inside your head. And it says something along the lines of, I hope I don't mess this up. Guess what? You mess it up. Or maybe you've been about to do an important presentation. You're prepared, you're rehearsed, you've practiced, and just as you're about to walk out on stage, there's that little voice inside your head. And this time it says, I hope I don't forget what I've got to say. So you walk out and it's like, your mind goes a complete blank. Has that ever happened to you? Would you like to know why that happens to you? So you need to listen to this one. You can't think about what you don't want to think about without thinking about it. So think about that. Shall I say that again? You can't think about what you don't want to think about without thinking about it. So if I say to each and every one of you, whatever you do, don't think of a blue camel. What's the first thing that pops into your mind? A blue camel. And I told you not to think of it. How many of you here have got children and have said to your kids, don't touch those sweets? It's like a little magnet, isn't it? Because we cannot process negatives. So, if you say to your friend, don't slam the door, the message they get is, slam the door. If you say to another friend, don't eat all my chocolates, guess what? They're going to eat all your chocolates. Or maybe your partner, as you're leaving the house, says, honey, remember your keys? Now you would remember your keys because they've said it the right way. So, your first technique for success is say it the way that you want it. So if you don't want your friend to slam the door, what do you want instead? Shut the door quietly. If you don't want your other friend to eat all your chocolates, and I certainly wouldn't, then would you like some fruit and vegetables? Then I can eat all the chocolates. Oh, look, and here's one of my favorite ones. You've probably had the experience where you're at a coffee shop with a friend and you're chatting away and they say to you, don't look round now, but, and you're like, you've got to look, haven't you? We cannot process negatives. Your first technique for success, say it the way that you want it. Focus on what you want. Now, one of the fields that I work in is called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's got many different definitions. It's been called the new art and science of getting what you want, fitness for the mind. My definition, it's simply the user manual for your mind. So let me ask, have any of you ever behaved in a way that's inappropriate? And I know you all have. Or have any of you ever said the wrong thing at the wrong time, what I call foot in mouth syndrome? Or maybe you felt emotions come up at the wrong time and you thought, not now. Well, one of the things that NLP does is it helps you become aware of your patterns in thinking, in behavior, helps you become aware of beliefs that are holding you back or your values. And it also helps you become aware of how you feel at any given moment, and more importantly, what to do about it. Because have you ever noticed that when you feel good about yourself, you get a much better result than when you don't feel good about yourself? Have you ever noticed that? So when you're feeling kind of like depressed, bored, anxious, you don't usually get brilliant results. Yet when you're feeling confident, powerful, energized, motivated, you get much better results. So the question is, how do you instantly put yourself into a great state of feeling excited, motivated, and confident. And if I could show you a rapid way to do that right now, are you in? Would you be up for that? Yes. Fantastic. So I have a name for this technique. I call it how to get your head out of your backside when you're in a jam and need to feel good really quickly. Snappy little title, isn't it? So do we have any people here who go to the gym or work out regularly or have a fitness regime? Can I see a show of hands? People who go to the gym quite a lot. Okay, I'm seeing quite a few hands go up. Okay, now let me ask another question. How many of you actually think about going to the gym and having a fitness routine? Yes, that's what I thought. So, when I ask people who do go to the gym regularly, who do work out, they tell me that whether they're tired or they've had a long day at the office, when they go to the gym afterwards, they feel absolutely fantastic. So is that the technique I want you to use? Go to the gym? Is there a quicker way? Well, what our friends who go to the gym have shown us is that when you move your body differently, you feel differently. And you already know this, because if I stand here like this, you'd probably guess that I'm depressed. Not a very useful state for getting the results that you want. So, are you up for a couple of experiments with me? You up for that? Can I ask you all to stand up, please? Just all stand up as quickly as possible. Fabulous. I'm not a big fan of people sitting down too long, so what I want you to do is to bring your hands together. Yes, namaste. And I'm going to very slowly count to 4. And as I count to 4, I want you to slowly take your hands out to shoulder level and then clap them together. Wait for it. At least you're keen. Here we go. You ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A couple of people at the back not in the same timing as us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just too keen, aren't you? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what sort of state is that slow movement putting you into? Kind of like bored, relaxed, sleepy. Not a very useful state for being fired up, ready for action. So here's what I want you to do. As quick as you can, take your arms up and clap them together. Up, up. How do you feel? All I did was ask you to move differently and you felt differently. Are you up for one more experiment since you're standing? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand with your feet about hip distance apart, and I want you to lock your knees back. I want you to suck in your belly. There's a six-pack in there somewhere. I want you to clench your fists, tighten across your chest, and I want you to look up. Oh, there's one more thing I want you to do. Smile. You know, one of those ones with teeth. So here's what I want you to do. Your body's tense. You're looking up, you're smiling, and I want you to go, yes, 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 yes. Part 1. Next time, what I want you to do is, body's tense, suck your belly in, you're looking up, smiling. What I want you to do is, you're still going to go yes, 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 but silently inside your head. So here we go. So inside your head, you're going, yes, yes, yes. And what I want you to do doing this, I want you to try and get depressed. So you're looking up, you're smiling. I want you to try and get depressed. Can you do it? You can't get depressed. You can relax a bit, stay standing, because this is not the physiology of depression. So I did a couple of different things. I got you to do a massive shift in your posture, in your physiology. I asked you to smile. And have you noticed, depression is not up there. You need to look down for depression. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to suggest that next time you go into an important meeting, you stand there going, yes, 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 and then walk in, because they really will think you're crazy. But just a subtle shift in your physiology will make a massive change in how you feel. So may I suggest that you take a seat, and as you sit down, may I suggest that you sit in a way you'd be sitting if you were totally confident, totally motivated, totally excited, and stay that way for the rest of the day. So, 2 simple techniques. Focus on what you want, say it the way that you want it, and simply change your posture, change your physiology. Now, I always remember when I was at school, my teachers told me about a formula called alchemy that was said to take a base or low metal such as lead, iron, or steel and transform it into something more valuable like gold. And I remember my maths and science teachers saying it was a load of rubbish. No such magic formula existed. But what I came to realize is that my maths and science teachers were wrong, because alchemy isn't a literal transformation of lead into gold. It's about taking ourselves and making transformations inside. So I changed the voice inside my head. I created a compelling picture in my mind. I changed my posture to act and stand as if I was confident, motivated, energized. And I walked up to that homeless man and I handed him the socks. He looked up at me and he said, "Thank you, my dear. That's very kind of you." And I've never forgotten the impact that that moment had on me, and the gift of giving and the gift of appreciation. If you truly want to be a leader, it's simple. Stop following. If you want to be a leader, stop following and look inside your own inner leader, because you can change your mind and keep the change. My name's Carol Talbot. Namaste.